Hello, everybody. My name is Roxtus,
And I'm
and
Soulgale.
welcome back to Grand Theft Auto 5.
Ooh,
You ready?
I'm ready.
Alrighty. So, just kind of going over Grand Theft Auto Online, just kind of farming and what's the most useful approach and what's the better approach to actual farming and everything. So, for the businesses, out of the businesses, if you were to start fresh, you have one shark card or you have $1 million in your bank account, what would be the most useful business to get first? I would actually have to say the bunker versus even the nightclub or any of the other businesses, because for the bunker, you fill that thing up and you get it all the way to full, and the bunker makes a good million every time that you run it. And out of all the other businesses, it seems like the bunker generates the most actual physical cash out of any of the other businesses. So this is really, really nice. And plus two, to refill it, all you have to do is just go do a simple, very simple mission to just refill the bunker. And that's your best bang for your buck. So right out of the gate, I would have to say the bunker because it just makes the most money out of any which of the other ones, especially early on. The nightclub will not generate generally as much money as the bunker because it just takes a lot of time to be able to do so, and to be able to start buying other businesses right off the gate, you need to actually have a few million to start getting the next business, and a million and a half for your business after that. And nightclub takes a long time to actually generate the funds needed to buy the next business. So right
Yeah.
off the bat, I would have to say bunker would be our number one go-to. If you're going to start the game, be able to build up that $1 million that you need to buy the business, get the bunker, get enough cash, or be able to run those bunker missions to generate that next million and a half. That's probably the first business that I would grab straight right off the bat. After that, I would go ahead and I would grab the nightclub, because the nightclub, even though it doesn't generate or make as much as the bunker, like after that, you're going to really get descending values on how much money these businesses are actually making. So the nightclub is really nice because passively per day, it's generating that 50K automatically. And this is really good. Over time, it'll make more and more money. And then plus two, if you don't want to have to do your missions for the nightclub and you want to be doing other things while the bunker is doing the resupplying, the nightclub is really, really useful, because then you'll be able to get that passive cash, being able to resupply your bunker without having to sit there and do those bunker missions. You can be doing stunt races or other things while the bunker is refueling, and then, or basically running and being able to refuel the supply so you can sell for another million. So this is really, really useful just for being able to resupply the bunker, resupply other businesses. Nightclub is really useful. And then plus two, later on when you get your cocaine or your methamphetamine and all these other businesses, you'll be able to get your warehouse technicians through the nightclub, which is the nightclub's warehouse versus the actual warehouse, through the nightclub's warehouse, which those generate quite a bit of money. As soon as those guys fill up with the technicians for all the businesses combined, it makes a good million off of that. And for these two specifically, the bunker and the nightclub, these generate the most revenue out of anything. And plus two, for the missions, they're the quickest missions. For the cocaine locker, agency, same thing with even the methamphetamine. These guys take the longest time to run any of the missions, and the most difficult as well, because for even the cocaine or the methamphetamine, if you get the delivery vehicles, the delivery vans, this takes the longest time. It's the most painful mission of them all, to
Yeah.
have to get delivery vehicles, get in the car. Oh man, there's 15 drops, and you have to go to every single house. So you cannot do this solo. If you're thinking of doing this solo, you're going to have to be at least at a halfway on your stocks to be even able to sell all of your cocaine or your methamphetamine. You cannot sell at a full bar. You're going to have to sell at a half or less, so you have enough vehicles so that you're not getting overwhelmed with the vehicles, which this is just really poor for the mission to be so long and to take as much as it does. For the bunker and for the nightclub, these do really, really well on the missions, because the missions do not take very long for the cell missions. The cell missions are very quick, very lickety split, and you can get those done in 20 minutes or less.
Yeah.
And sometimes I will say you will have to have a second player some of the time. Other of the time, not so much, but it is definitely easier if you have a second person on board and they're able to run those with you. So this is great, just having both of us being able to run the missions, because you do generate quite a bit of revenue for those guys. Then, in descending value from the bunker and the nightclub, going down even further, the next one down would be probably your cocaine. Cocaine would be your next one.
Yeah.
Actually, it is your cocaine, not probably. It is your cocaine.
Yeah.
Cocaine makes 5.5 at a full stock. It is kind of a pain because, like I've said with the delivery vehicles, it is the longest running mission. It is the most aggravating one as well.
Post-op is the worst.
Post-op is the worst. Again, like, I can't say the same thing. And then the same thing with the meth lab. Post-op, you got the same missions, you got the same setup. I don't know why the cell missions aren't easier with these. There's no reason why the cell missions couldn't be easier. I really love the bunker. The bunker, right off the bat, the bunker's missions, especially if you get the phantom wedges, is amazing. I don't know why.
I love the phantoms.
Like, I don't know why for the cocaine. Like, oh yeah, I fill up the bar all the way. Why can't we just do one post-op van? If it was just one post-op van, everyone would love this mission.
Or just a big truck.
Or just a big truck. But even if it was just one post-op van, oh yeah, I can take my time with this. I can take my time going over here, and you can just enjoy the scenery and not feel like, oh, I've only got so much time. If I don't make this, I will lose. You know, if I lose that one van, if I get it stuck somewhere or something happens to that one van, I'm going to lose. What's the dividing factor? Probably like 1.33 of your stock, I believe.
Probably.
It's almost 200K. I think it's like 1.66 at that point, but it's almost 200K. Yes, it's at 1.66. If you go to 500, it's going to be 1.66. So if it's almost 200K, but it's not. So it's 166,000 that you lose if you lose that one post-op. So let's say we dump that post-op in the water and you completely destroy the post-op, you effectively lost $166,000. And a good way to recover this, if you do dump your van in the water, is disconnect, join a new session, and you'll have your post-op back. But again, you got to have at least 2 people to be able to sell that. And that actually happened once for me. I got the vehicle stuck and there was nothing that we could do about it. Or maybe we had one that actually did get destroyed and we were just like, nope, disconnect, come back in. And I don't like it that you lose a little bit, but you do lose a little bit, but it's not as bad as losing that 1/3 that you lose if you lose the vehicle. But you come back in and you're like, hey, you know what? I've got full money. This is pretty nice. So again, really annoying with these missions. If it was Rockstar, if it was one post-op van, this would be wonderful because we could just enjoy our time, look at the scenery as we drive our Amazon, and we got our packages to deliver, and we can just deliver those packages and go about our day instead of being on edge with every single post-op van and just being like, man, if I don't make this, it's not as critical. And then if you do dump it in the water, I wish there was a recovery that you could get it out of the water or the van would respawn like the phantom wedges. If the back of the cargo falls off, I can easily reattach.
Nah.
Why can't we have the same thing with the post-op vans or anything else like that? Just be able to reset, be able to have like Mario Kart 64 where Toad pulls your cart out of the water and goes, no, you got to stop doing that. Have something like that. But yes, for these two, these are very annoying for the drops, for the missions in general. It's just really annoying that the missions take that long. Then beyond that, arcade and the agency. Now I'm actually going to say agency is going to be more useful than the arcade. Arcade does come into real handy, but just for utility, because the utility for the arcade is really, really good. If you get the management off of the arcade and you're able to manage all the different businesses, this is really useful. It's even more useful than the Terabyte because you can resupply every single business without having to go to every single business by hand, walk into each of those businesses and have to resupply them by hand.
Oh, the
This-
master control terminal was lovely.
Yes. So if you have the arcade and you're like, hey, you know what? I don't want to have to go and resupply, and I really don't want to have to wait for the agency, go immediately go buy that arcade. It's a great utility to be able to have that master control terminal, walk in, resupply. I don't have to go to every single business. It's
Yeah.
such a time saver. And then after that or before that, the agency does make more money. So if you're okay with going to every single business and resupplying, that's fine. Go ahead and grab the arcade. But if you're like, nah, I really need the arcade, go grab the arcade. Just depends on you if you feel comfortable with having to go to every single business and having to resupply them or not. But the agency will be actually better in making money. So this is the next one down the list than the arcade. So the agency, per mission that you do, you get 50K off of each mission. The raccoon is just rubbing its palms, just going, oh man, money, money, money. Because if you do 10 of those missions, that's effectively 300K or 3,500, or yeah, 350,000K.
3,500, yeah.
Yeah. Or up to 70 or 700K. So this is great. This is great. You do 10 missions and you're getting a ton of money. And over the duration of doing all these missions, you get 7 to 10 million off of just doing 201 missions. 201 missions is what's capped for the daily income. So I really wouldn't go beyond that. So just do your 201. But it does make you, over the span of doing those 201 missions, 7 million to $10 million, depending on what you get and how much it's going to make you. It's around 7 to 10 million. Currently for those missions though, I'm at 104 and you're at 120, 121.
I'm 121, you're 141.
Yeah, so 121, 141. But these are great for just crunching a lot of money, especially just doing the missions. The missions will add up to that if you get to your 201. And then for your daily value, how much you actually get out of the arcade, if you start at 1, you get nothing. Every conceding 5, you get an extra high $500. So if you are up to 6 missions, you'll get $500. If you're up to 11 missions, you'll get a thousand. Not a million. It would be nice if you made $1 million.
That would be nice.
But you get 1,000 off of doing 10, and then for every preceding 10. So if you go up to 151, you're going to make $15,000. And then if you go all the way to 201, that's when you'll get your $20,000. And then going beyond that, 201 missions, this is where I say the cap is at, you won't get any more from passive daily income. What I mean by passive daily income, it's per in-game day, or basically 48 minutes, that you'll get that revenue of 20,000. This is actually really, really good in terms of even like the nightclub, because the nightclub, as again, it makes 50K per day. So nightclub 50K per day, the agency makes 20K per day. And this is great because it just makes an extra 40%. This is even better than even the arcade. And the arcade for revenue only makes 5,000 per day, but you have to get all the machines. And to get all the machines, it's really, really easy because all you have to do is just get a single cabinet unit. It already has a double cabinet unit in the arcade for the arcade machines. So you have to have the double cabinet and a single cabinet, wide cabinet for the arcade machines, and then you'll be able to generate all the revenue that you need. You just need to fill out the entire arcade. So you just have to hit M for management, or whatever your management button is, be able to pop in all those arcades through the arcade management, because it'll give you an arcade floor within your management menu, and you'll be able to place all those arcades throughout the entire arcade floor. So this is really, really nice, just to fill out the entire arcade and make sure the arcade is completely filled. This is great. But yeah, 500 million is the cap for that arcade. Doesn't make any more than that. I wish it was a little bit more, but that's fine because it does generate at least some revenue. And as I've said, the main thing here is for the arcade, the utility. That master control terminator, terminal. That master control terminal is your lifesaver. It just really helps with not having to go, hey, I need to go to the cocaine, I need to go to the bunker, I need to go to the methamphetamine, and having to hopscotch all the way across these different fields. So this is really, really nice. Now, when you do get your cocaine, you also have your methamphetamine, your bunker, and then as you also get your hangar. We also do have the cash and carry counterfeit cash factory. We have that one as well. But if you do get all of those 5 different businesses, counterfeit cash doesn't make as much money right off the bat. We'll just say that that's non-existent. We don't even use it. It makes like, I believe, 200K off of a daily, or off of a resupply mission. So it doesn't make that much. And then the hangar, we don't really use that. I don't know how much money it really makes. It's kind of foggy there on that one. But these are just the main businesses that we're using. So the hangar, not as useful. I don't know how much it makes. So yeah, we'll have to maybe see on that one. And same thing for the warehouses. Warehouses we have not gone into, so we don't know how much money it actually makes. But for this setup, this is what I would do, is for these cocaine, methamphetamine, bunker, having the counterfeit cash, and for the hangar, because that's also in there, the nightclub. This is how you generate all these different mechanics. You have to own these separate businesses to be able to have the warehouse technicians in your nightclub be able to generate revenue off of basically what I would consider as the excess scrap of what those businesses actually make. And they'll generate scrap product off of whatever those buildings are making, and they'll come up with, after quite a while, a good sum of money and be able to sell that through the nightclub. So this is also why the nightclub is number 2, because after you get the bunker, you can immediately grab a technician and have that money going. So while you're getting all these other businesses going, this is great. So yeah, nightclub makes quite a bit of money after a while. It does basically make as much as the bunker, or maybe a little bit less. Depends. We weren't running the bunker for quite a while. And then I was wondering, wait a minute, we should be running the bunker. And when we did, yeah, it started making quite a bit of money off of that. So for each of these businesses, this is another thing that I really don't like, is for the bunker, it takes, to resupply the entire bunker, it takes 12 hours and 30 minutes. This is annoying because you go in, you resupply, you walk away. It takes about 2 hours and 30 minutes for that one bar, singular bar, to fill out.
Yeah.
That takes 12 hours, 30 minutes. It's around 12 hours, something like that. It takes a long, long time to actually fill out the entire bunker. It is 12 hours, 30 minutes. 5 bars, 4, 10. The next 5th is 12 hours and 30 minutes, basically 12 and a half hours. So that's really a long, long time to wait. And the missions aren't that bad, but the one thing that can hit you, and especially the upgrade that you really need to get as soon as you can get it for each of the businesses. Bunker isn't as bad, and the nightclub isn't as bad as for this, but definitely cocaine and methamphetamine, the number one thing you want to grab. We have had the bunker be invaded once, is your security. You really want, if it was number 1, I would get, for the cocaine and for your methamphetamine, get the protection for them.
Yep.
And then go over to your bunker and your nightclub. And those are the ones that you can get at last. And you don't really need it as much, but you need to get security, because LJT calls, the agent calls, you are messed up. Because all that 12 hours that you've spent on your bunker, the agent calls you and it messes your 12 hour. This is 12 hours of work. You've put your entire day of work into the bunker. And then the agent calls and goes, oh yeah, remember Riot Games? Taxes. And if
you mean Rockstar?
Yeah, if Rockstar, Riot Games. Same idea. Just, it's a real pain. You do the recovery mission to be able to stop the cops from trying to take all your money, or whoever it is. And if you get shot or you get killed during the asset protection missions, you will lose your 12 hours or your $1 million worth in work. So this is really annoying, because you spent 12 hours, a whole day, sitting. You have to be active. You cannot be inactive. You have to be active. And if you get shot, you lose all 12 hours of your product. And this is so annoying. This
Yeah.
is the number one thing that makes this so aggravating and so frustrating. And if it were me, I would completely remove the agency protection missions. This is 12 hours of your hard work that you're just throwing out the window. And this is just, why would you do this? Why would you do this? You're playing this game to actually have fun, and you're going to throw that into the mix? No, because that to me is just, that's aggravating. Unless you're going to be playing actively and actually playing all the other things, it might not be as aggravating. But definitely for this, if you're on 24/7, you're just doing the bunker or doing any of these other businesses, this is the most aggravating thing. So I really just, oh my goodness. So yeah, bunker 12 hours, 30 minutes. Cocaine, and the same thing for the meth, takes about half the time, about 5 hours, something like that, to get them fully up. But you get hit with that LJT, so annoying, so
Yep.
annoying, because all your stock just goes out the window. And that's something, if it were me and I would completely toss Agent 14 and LJT right out the window. I would just take them both out, you know,
Yeah.
drag them out into the street and get shot. So says Garfield.
Yeah. And I was doing an agency mission. I literally clicked on my agency mission, and Agent 14 overrided it.
Yeah. So you started your agency mission, or
Yeah.
your what do they call it? The
Security contracts.
security contract. You started your security contract. You initiated it. Did you get to the helicopter?
No, I was still in my chair.
You're still in your chair, and before you could get up, it started. So
Yep.
before you even stood up, just immediately got interrupted by
Yep.
that. Yeah. So be very wary, especially if you are resupplying in the arcade. That could probably happen to you. You sit down, hey, I'm going to resupply. You log in as your motorcycle club before you can even start to resupply. Oh, yeah, LJT will give you a call, and you'll just immediately get levitated out of your chair. Oh, great. Nice. Now I got to spend 30 minutes and travel. And another thing, too, that just hit me, there are some missions. I don't know if it's only secluded to the methamphetamine or your cocaine warehouse, but the mission will be is that there's a bar on the right hand side, and the bar will start to diminish, and that's how much supplies are left after the mission is gone or done, and it'll keep on diminishing. And if you're in Los Santos and it takes you 5 minutes to get up here into this area for the northern Blaine County area, that bar will easily go halfway gone. So you're talking about 2.5 hours to 3 hours completely gone of work. And you recover that vehicle, you drive it back. If that bar has gone even a quarter way or halfway, you will lose that quarter of that time or half of that time. And even if you fully recover that and bring it back, you'll still lose half of that stock.
Yeah, that's what happened to me with the bunker.
That should not happen. Oh, the bunker will do it.
Yeah.
You're talking about 3 hours here by the bunker time, and 6 hours. That is just completely thrown out the window. And you still complete that recovery mission. You complete it, but
Yeah.
you'll still lose.
I lost more than half of my bunker.
See, this is why this should get completely thrown out. I don't know why anyone thinks this is a good idea. If it were me and I were programming something like this, I would do it so that it takes 30 minutes and then on a 20-hour cycle. So you could do, oh, let's resupply the methamphetamine. The methamphetamine gets resupplied, everything like that. The bar goes up within 30 minutes. You can sell. You sell immediately. You do your sell mission. Your sell mission takes 10 minutes. And then instead of, oh, you can just do it again. It takes a 20-hour time cycle for that mission to pop back up, and you can resupply and redo your methamphetamine and do that within 45 to 30 minutes to be able to do just that one business.
Yeah.
Instead of having to sit and wait for 5 to 6 hours for that to fully fill up, and to do that, or the same thing with the bunker, to be able to do it so that you can do it within a very short amount of time, 45 to 30 minutes, be able to do the mission, get everything done within 30 to 45 minutes, get $500,000 or $1 million, and then it's done. You can't do it anymore this time today. Tomorrow you'll be able to refresh and be able to start again. This is exactly what Warframe does for some of these things, and I believe a few other games will do it as well for some of these things as well, because it will be on a daily cycle. You can't do it anymore today, go again the next day, because you're not going to be awake 24 hours playing GTA.
No.
No, you're only going to be up one time of the day, and plus two, if you're working, you can't be playing this game for 24 hours. You got, maybe an hour or 2 hours before you need to go back to bed and go back to work again for 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And be able to come to GTA and be able to passively play. And plus two, if you're working, you can't be aggravated and frustrated at your job about GTA being a pain on you. A game is meant to be played and enjoyed. You can't be playing a game and having it even further aggravate and frustrate you.
Yeah.
So this, I would completely throw LJT out the window. That's something in my mind that's pretty concrete. I don't think that would really be easily changed unless the conditions for doing the mission were easier, or that you lost less stock. So to me, LJT should be thrown out the window. And I haven't had it to the nightclub where the nightclub gets reset or anything like that. But nightclub for a full 5 hours, I'm not sure if this is true or not, or for a full 5 on storage, for having your storage upgraded to full, is 20 hours to refill and restock the entire nightclub. I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Yeah.
But we worked with about 2 or 3 stocks before, and you said it was about 12 hours to restock around 2 or 3 storages. So that sounds about right.
Yeah.
That it takes about 20 hours at 5 storage. So again, though, LJT, Agent 14, man, we really don't like you guys.
Oh, and get this. When I was doing my bunker protecting thing,
Yeah,
there was no bar in the right-hand corner.
there was no bar.
There was no bar.
So it just got rid of the stock.
Yep.
And you knew it was at full,
It was at full.
because you were going to sell it.
Yep.
The very next step is, I'm at full, I can go and sell it. And then it just disappears out of your stock, and you're like, man, are you kidding me? Are you serious right now?
Oh,
Yeah.
I was so mad.
Oh yeah. So the number one thing that is just aggravating in GTA, agency for the actual missions though. Mission time again. I can't keep on coming back to this, but the missions take too long, especially for even resupplying the agency or whatever else it is, or actually sell missions for cocaine or meth. Those take way too long. I'd love it if it was just one van that we could just sell by. But long missions again. Each of these missions through the agency, if you do your security contracts, only count as one. And I've said for asset protection, if you were watching earlier, asset protection for the time it takes to do the asset protection, which is 8 minutes,
Yep.
should count for like 3 or if not 2 missions. Should actually count for long. Again, asset protection, I wish that actually counted for 2 or 3. That would be completely fine. It doesn't have to be a very quick asset protection. It can have that 8 minutes timer. I wish it was actually 5. 5 makes more sense.
Yeah.
300 seconds, that's a Teemo shroom in League of Legends. That makes a lot of sense, though, to have it for 5 minutes and be able to count it for 2 missions, and you're done. That to me makes logical sense. But gang termination takes a longer time. It's really a harder one as well. That should probably count for at least 2. If you're going to have your asset protection last for 8 minutes, have it count for 3 at least. Liquidize assets. That one takes a while because for some of them you have to follow the person, be able to find where they're at, be able to get inside the building and everything like that. You could still say that counts for one mission.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, it can take longer.
Yeah. Have you had it where you were doing a gang termination? You died, and then there's like a whole bunch of people right there where you spawned, and they just shoot you dead?
Oh, when you get killed and you're still doing the mission, but you get respawned, and then you're right next to where the gang is.
Yep.
Yeah, because the spawn location is randomized, so you can spawn right in the middle of a group of them. They'll just re-kill you.
I hate being spawn killed.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty annoying. There are quite a few bugs in GTA. It's not fully flushed out on the
No.
game design gameplay. But yeah, that is really annoying because they will spawn you and you can get fudged over just by the spawn location.
Yep.
Yeah, you just get spawn killed for that matter. But yeah, I would completely agree with that because I have had that a few times.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I've had it where I get respawned and, bullets are flying, bullets are going off, and then
Yeah.
civilians are just like, oh my goodness. And then you just walk right into the street and you're not thinking about it. And then the civilian is so rushed and so like,
Yeah.
on the fritz.
You'll just get run over.
You just get run over.
Yeah.
So the civilians are the worst thing in this game because they will just decide to, whenever they want to, just run you over,
Yep.
which is really annoying.
I've had that happen a few times too.
Yeah. So liquidize assets, though, you have to go and follow the person. It's debatable. This could actually be taken as 1.5 missions, maybe 2, depending
Yeah.
on the liquidize assets. But you do have to follow the person, get into the building. I would say it's probably worth 1, but it does take a little bit more time to do. The quickest ones to do, the 3 on my list that are the quickest ones to do: recover valuables,
Oh yeah.
rescue operation, and vehicle recovery. If it were in that order, that's the exact order they would be in. Recover valuables, number 1, rescue operation, number 2, and vehicle recovery, number 3. If those are any of those that actually pop up on your list, those are the order I would do them. If you have to pick one of the harder ones to do, whether it be asset, gang, or liquidize assets, pick the liquidize assets. That one is going to be your easier one. Gang termination actually depends on the player, can be easier. Asset protection would always be at the bottom of my list. Again, gang termination or liquidize assets over the asset protection.
Yeah.
Either which one of them. You go ahead and play both of them. Gang termination cannot actually be that hard to actually do. Just depends on you if you can actually do it quickly or not. Liquidize assets is a little bit easier because you just go in, pop everyone, walk out, blow up the whole mine.
Yep.
It's pretty easy. But you depends on the player. If you like the gang termination, it seems pretty easy for that. I don't mind that. That's actually sometimes pretty enjoyable to do. But yeah. But for recover valuables, this one's really easy. It only gives you 2 locations. It gives you the Tequila Cotola, which is like right over here in this area over
Yeah.
here.
Like Tequila La or Vanilla Unicorn, which is like somewhere right in this area here, or maybe
It's
maybe
across
right here.
Yeah, it's across the freeway. I believe it's right here. I believe that's Tequila. No, it's right next to the freeway. I believe it's in this section over here, somewhere in the very first row, right after the freeway.
Is it where the heel is?
Yes, there you are. Yeah, I was building right across from it.
Okay.
So there you are. So that's where that is for that one. But yeah, that for the recover valuables is really, really quick. You get in, pop some guys, grab the valuable that you need to recover, and walk out. Rescue operation, same thing. It's really easy. You just have to go to a faraway location, pop a few guys, and you don't have to open up or crack open a safe. You just pull the person and run away. Recover valuables is a lot easier for us because we're really in a good centralized location. You can just run them real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And it's easy to get over to the place, get back. For rescue operation takes a lot longer because you have to go over to wherever they're at, pick them up, and then travel all the way back. So travel time isn't really a big one. That's why it's second on the list, because it's like, the travel time isn't too bad. Vehicle recovery, though, the one-off chance that you get the monkey mission and you have to travel all the way. I believe it's over here.
Oh, that's a pain.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it up
where
here?
is it? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. Yeah. So the one-off chance that you get that out of, like, I believe it's 4 or 5 different missions that you have to go for vehicle recovery. This is annoying. This should actually be its own separate mission and be able to have like a helicopter or something quicker to be able to go and get that. Again, long missions. This takes way too long to go and do. This needs to be shorter. And this takes way too much time to be able to just be considered one mission. If it were me, again, same thing with asset protection, being able to just, instead of calling it 8 minutes and 1 mission, 8 minutes and 3 missions. So same, Same thing with this. I would count this for at least 3 missions for how long it actually takes. For the other vehicle recoveries, it should only be counted as 1. But because this one takes so long to get all the way back, this should actually be considered 3 missions. Well, why not for the Lisa one? The Lisa one, you get the Reaver. You get all these other nice cars that you can drive and drive really quickly.
Yeah.
For this one, for the Humane,
It's only the monkey.
yeah, and it's the van. The van is the slowest thing.
Yeah,
So
there's also one in David as well where you can get the Pegasi Ignis or the Joker
Yep.
or a Fitzer
the Fitzer Comet, yeah.
Comet.
Actually,
I
it's
think
not.
it's like a Comet. No.
Fitzer Comet S2, Series 2.
Yes.
Because it has a 2.0 on it. It's Series 2.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Series 2. So that is the Series 2. So for those ones, those are really, really quick because
Yeah.
they're so close. And of course, they have really, really nice cars. But for the monkey one, again, count it for 3 missions. If you're going to have that mission, count it for 3 missions. Don't count it for 1. That is so annoying that they put that one in vehicle recovery. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, have it monkey recovery or something like that. You pick it up with a chopper and just bring it back. That would be the better alternative.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, why not have, penguin recovery? And you get the penguin, and then, you jump into the limo. Instead of you driving the limo, it's the penguin driving the limo.
It's the Pengu driving the number.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but for that, some of these missions take too long. A good pro tip, if you are making a game, play it yourself. See how long these things take. See how long certain things take, and actually time how long these things take.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to tie it. Just play it. If you're a good dev and you make a good game, most of the time you're going to be able to play your own game and go, that's pretty enjoyable. I like that. I don't
Yeah.
like this aspect of this. I don't like that. And you can get pretty good at it. But be able to play your own game and go, does that really make sense to put that way? Does that make sense? No? Okay,
No.
well, I don't enjoy it. Like, if you don't enjoy that as a dev, why would you play it as a player? Just to put that out there.
Yeah.
If you're going to make a game, the best probably game makers is just if they play their own game. If you as a player play a game and it doesn't seem enjoyable to you, it's probably because the developer hasn't actually played the game themselves. Just to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so LJT. Long mission times, LJT?
Don't like you, LJT.
No. The game is detailed. I love the game. The game for just the aesthetics. Just looking around the clouds, just the sun, being able to have the lighting is beautiful in this game. The weather is beautiful in this game. I love the detail in this game. The little particles that wisp by, just being able to see the flowers. Like the flowers, the grass aren't that great. But even to the point of Warframe, for like the trees and everything like that, this is almost as on par with Plains of Eidolon in terms of Warframe, in terms of just the grass textures and everything else.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is pretty good. It's not bad and it's not good. Same thing with Plains of Eidolon. Sometimes the grass textures aren't where you would want them or anything. This is beautiful for the game environment, for the date it was created, and then plus 2, the rain, the sun, the sunsets, the stars, everything on this map is beautiful. And I can't just, man. And plus 2, the map itself. If you're looking at Los Santos and you're going underneath bridges, or you're going through the roads, or if you're going through a tunnel, they make that map like an anthill, and I love it because it's so detailed. You can go underneath tunnels, especially the main tunnel here. I love the bridge going to this tunnel to go to the military compact over here. I love those little yellow things. I keep on running over them.
Yeah.
I love those things. Those are so good. And then plus 2, there's another tunnel right in here as you get off and onto the freeway. This is a pretty common route, but there's a tunnel right going through this freeway, and I love the tunnels. I am a tunnel man. I love the tunnels that have the lights that are spaced, in the yellow lights that are spaced every so often. I'd always go to Seattle, and every time we would hit that tunnel, I'd go, oh, it's the tunnel time, because you go through that tunnel and you can feel the lights going by. It's a whoosh, 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 and you can see the lights, just kind of as you're passing them. I just love the tunnels.
Yeah.
Tunnels are the best thing. But like again, like the map is so detailed. This is really good. This is what map design is, and I love this because every single piece of road line or whatever they put in is really, really well designed, and I love it because it makes it feel like a city. Everything is so close together and so jam packed, and you get out into the county and it's just like nice big plains. I don't like the mountains being so high. I wish there was like 3 mountains that were major mountains, and that was kind of it. But they have like a whole mountain range, and then of course you got the big mountain over here.
Yeah.
And I don't like the big mountain over here. I wish that mountain was reduced in size. Probably half of its size would be good, and it was just a big hill almost. That would be great. But other than that, like I love the map. The map is really, really nice.
Oh yeah.
The game is detailed though to that point though, because like you get all these details with the weather and everything else, and then like the buildings are really, really well detailed. But then when you get into the buildings for like the agency or the business or anything else like that, it lacks a major amount of being able to customize. Hey, what do the floors look like? What do the walls look like? What can I change the paint color? Simple thing of being able to change the paint color, and I can't change the paint color. I only have so many options. This is where Warframe excels at customization, because it's like I can color anything.
Yeah.
I can color this, I can color that. I don't have very many issues. This is the number one thing. I love being able to color in Warframe, and even for Warframe is beautiful in and of itself. You look at space, and that's even better for Warframe, because space and being able to look out at the void or some of these beautiful textures in Warframe, that actually probably hits a larger spot than even GTA.
Yeah.
But even for like Warframe being able to be on plains, I don't feel that plains hits the same beauty as this, where the night goes to nighttime and you get to see the sunset here.
Yeah.
Plains of Eidolon, I don't feel like it actually hit the same level.
I don't think so either.
Because even like thinking about sunsets in Plains of Eidolon, what do you think?
I don't think you can even see the sun in Plains of Eidolon.
There you go. Well, the sunsets are beautiful. The blue, the orange, the yellow, just being able to see the sun as it goes down, and you get to see the purple. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Even the paint jobs, though, even for cars, that's the nice thing that GTA, which is Grand Theft Auto, that's what Grand Theft Auto is actually about. Automotive. Paint jobs, everything is really, really good. The customization on cars is spot on. You can actually customize the car fully. The buildings, the character, not so much. It's not as good on those things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the cars, that's where it actually excels at customizations. For businesses, though, and being able to customize the inside of interior of a building, not so much. And yeah, the atmosphere is fine. I'm just looking at my notes, trying to see where I'm at. But the atmosphere is fine. It's really, really good. It's really good for sunsets, everything like that.
Yeah.
Weapons in GTA 5, you could add in more. You can add in flamethrowers. I'm not going to get too much on
lovely.
that. But like the guns, the gameplay for the guns, it's pretty good. But like being able to add in just flamethrowers, a few more weapons, and especially like for 4th of July, we were like, where's the fireworks show? There's no fireworks show. I would love a built-in into the game mechanics. You have to mod this. You can't actually have it in the original vanilla game, but you have to mod it where you actually have fireworks over the El Dipero Bay. I want fireworks, and I want them pretty much everywhere throughout GTA. Be able to have the entire city light up with fireworks. And being able to have the fireworks just completely random and just have them go off every so often, that would be beautiful. To have the whole city light up with fireworks, that would be amazing. Maybe even have it so that you have, like, when, I don't know when, if Japan actually has a day, but to be able to have lanterns go into the sky, be able to have it a day where it's just like every night in Los Santos, the lanterns would go out. Or
that would be beautiful.
With 4th of July, be able to have the fireworks go off. That would be really, really nice. But be able to have just more weapons, more customizations. That's something that you can think about.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
All we have is this gun.
All we have, yeah, all we had is the fireworks for
Whee!
4th of July. That was it. Yeah. Yeah. But, yeah. Number one thing, though, on my list, especially with just gameplay, just being able to move around. Moving around, the worst thing in the game. Being able to actually accurately go where you want to go. Maybe it's better on controller. I do not know. I'm playing on a PC. But this is really annoying because you are not accurate. And the same thing with the Pegasi oppressor. My feeling is on that is it's really hard to handle. I haven't played around a lot with it. Maybe I'll get better at it, but it doesn't seem like it really is as good as it seems. Same thing with the hovering, and then +2, if you're going up the side of a building, I would love to do that. Be able to have the camera go behind you.
Yeah.
But for Grand Theft Auto, major bugs though, major kind of things that kind of went off. I believe it was like the first, or if not, I think it was the first episode. But remember talking about the van, how the back end of the van would go up in the air. Same thing there. Bugs,
Yeah.
bugs kind of exist throughout the entire game. The NPCs clipping through walls, clipping here, clipping there, not being able to complete your mission because an NPC doesn't do what they're supposed to do, which is get in the back of your vehicle or whatever. I haven't had that with any rescue missions through the agency, but doing that one basic heist, it's like, oh, there are bugs. They do exist throughout the game. And like the agency, there will be a random crate that appears in the vault every time that you go into, and it just pops out of the vault. There's a crate that just appears in the vault and randomly does that. So,
I think I took a screenshot of that too.
yeah, it's completely random on that.
There's also my terabyte merging with yours as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That is annoying. Oh, there was one thing. It came into my mind, it popped into my mind, and then it went right back out the other side. Maybe I'll remember it later. But for right now, this is all that I can think of that really comes to mind. I believe it was something to do with movement, and there was something a little bit more advanced with movement that I was thinking of, and it was more like just kind of a maybe minor, maybe major detail. But for the most part, like my biggest thing is just being able to actually move, being able to get where you need to be going with basic movements. And I believe I did have something a little bit more on movements, but that's all that I can think of for right now. But yes. Wow. Wow. Well, is that all the time we have for this episode?
Unfortunately, yes.
And we will see you guys in a new game in the very next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.